Welcome back to Neighborhood Niches. Well, if you're looking for a charismatic, unpretentious neighborhood where residents know one another by name, Garrett Park might just be the place for you. Founded in the mid-1880s by businessman Henry Kopp, the town was originally envisioned as a summer getaway for Washingtonians. He purchased 500 acres bordered by Rock Creek Park and the B&O Railroad. Garrett Park was incorporated in 1898 after the arrival in 1893 of a Baltimore and Ohio Railroad station. The town was named for Robert Garrett, a former president of the B&O. Garrett Park was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1975. In 1977, the town declared itself an arboretum. The entire town encompasses just over a quarter mile, and there are about 380 households. There are around 1,000 residents in Garrett Park, and the median income for a family is $126,000. The median age for a Garrett Park resident is 45, and there are 3 county schools that serve Garrett Park: Garrett Park Elementary, Tilden Middle, and Walter Johnson High School. Peter Benjamin is currently serving his 5th consecutive term as mayor of Garrett Park. He says the town is made up of folks from all walks of life.
There is no average resident. We have largely families, but not exclusively. The people that you saw upstairs a minute ago don't necessarily belong to families. 1, 2 of them have families around, but not in the town. But what we do have in the town also is multi-generational families. So, for instance, on my block, there is across the street a person who grew up in our town. His parents live at the end of the street, and he has kids now, and very soon he's probably going to have grandkids. So we very often have multiple generations.
Council President Nancy Florine and her family moved to Garrett Park 25 years ago. She also served as mayor from 2000 to 2002, overseeing the renovation of Penn Place and a street lighting program.
We've just fell in love with the community, its trees, its sense, its spirit, and it was really convenient. So there's the MARC train that comes right through town. You can walk to the Grosvenor Metro Station. The library is a very short hike. There, retail very close by. It's a really convenient place. And what I really like is there's a really nice range of incomes here. It's not a really wealthy community by any means, nor is it, it's affordable for young families, so we've got a lot of kids coming through the community at the same time. There's a real mix of ages, and these are all people who like to manage things. So we have a movie society and a senior lunch bunch, and of course there's yoga, and there's an active civic community, certainly. These are people who get involved and really care.
Scattered among the Victorian and colonial-style homes in Garrett Park are dozens of bungalows named for a car. 45 Chevy Houses were built in the 1920s, each designed with 1 or 2 small bedrooms, a Pullman kitchen, and a Murphy bed in the living room. The homes were called Chevy Houses because their owners could add a garage and a Chevrolet to the mortgage. Today, the Chevy Houses in Garrett Park have prestige. Many have been renovated but remained an integral part of the community's history. Now on to probably the best-known niche in Garrett Park. Penn Place is home to the office of the mayor, Black Market Bistro, and the post office, which is more than just a place where the mail is stored. In Garrett Park, residents have fought home mail delivery. To them, going to the post office to pick up the mail is a social activity.
It's really important to us that you know your neighbor. You are standing right now just above our post office. It's the Garrett Park Post Office. The Garrett Park Post Office has existed, again, for over 100 years. There is no home mail delivery in Garrett Park, and not because the post office doesn't want to do that, because it's cheaper and easier for them to do that.
Not too much.
It's because Garrett Park wants to have everybody come here to get their mail, which they get from their little post office boxes, and meet their neighbors.
But picking up the mail isn't the only action in town. Garrett Park has a swim club, a 4th of July parade, hosts a reception for newcomers, and art shows on a regular basis. The mayor and council, who are elected and serve on a volunteer basis, meet at least once a month in the town hall, which was once a chapel built in 1897. Spending a day in Garrett Park can feel like a step back in time to simpler days.
We want to be a community, we want to be different, we want to be a haven. We're very, very close to Rock Creek, well, we're right on the edge of Rock Creek, but we're very close to Rockville Pike and all sorts of shopping and all sorts of growth. Yet here we have a little haven. There's only one street that goes in or out of Garrett Park, that's Strathmore Avenue.
Bit by bit, of course, suburbia surrounded it, but the town retained its own character. And it was an early municipality, and because of that, it was able to establish some rules and guidelines for how this small little community could stay the way it was.
A lot more expensive for families, but for just one person.
Garrett Park has a large senior population, and the Neighbors Helping Neighbors Committee meets once a month to talk about what they can do to help those residents age in place.
Most of us have in mind that we want to end our days in Garrett Park, so in that case, it's important for there to be services for the older people. For example, one service is we have a list of Garrett Parkers who are willing to run errands for the older people, take them to the doctor or to the grocery store or whatever. And this list of people, they're very willing to do this kind of thing. So our job is, in general, to find out what are the needs of older people in Garrett Park.
While you won't find any malls, convention centers, or busy roads in Garrett Park, you will find an artistic, eclectic, friendly neighborhood that gives new meaning to the word community.
This is my home, that's for sure.